Computer. Lights.
Good morning, everyone, and Brent. That's like all the ships at sea and Argentina. To all the ships at sea, to Argentina and all the ships at sea. To all those people on the internet and Brent. Good morning. I do too. I don't know what happened yesterday, but my internet was out for a good 15 or 20 minutes. It just completely gone. Just gone. I was like, really? And I could tell that it was going down because, like, I was getting we've got a stream problem with Twitch, and then we got a stream problem with Facebook and Twitch. We got a stream problem with Facebook, Twitch, and I was like, I didn't see what's going down here. Bad things arising. Okay, so I did. I look so very young. And Troy had hair. And my hair wasn't gray. So, yeah, if he was playing, I think he did Ideas, which was our 2004, I want to say 2004 or 2005 Boulder Shootout. So, I mean, I'm starting to realize that we are alarmingly coming up on 20 years since we made those. However, it goes to show you that Troy and I might have been friends for a while. So, there's that. See this? I wanted this to be up just a bit, enough that it was like just in the way of the lights of the fan, but not in the way. This is my really nice Sennheiser mic. I really like my Sennheiser mic. And I've got like a windscreen over it and a pop filter and all kinds of great stuff. But it doesn't have the little lock that the other one did, so it slides out of the arm. It's one of those things. Good heavens. Oh, that's my buddy Dean, who doesn't know how to send more than one sentence. And so he printed something. So he's saying, and I did this, send. And I printed it with these settings, send. And I'm going to enlarge it, send. And later it'll be bigger, send. And then and I'm like, really? Just write all of this in one thing. Yeah, exactly. Just like this. Hi, bing. How, bing. Are, bing. You, bing. Like, come on, people. Alrighty. So we have to draw a sexy scene today. That's what we're doing. Sexy scene. Because the instructions were ample boobs. Which I'm not sure what to think about that. But okay. So I learned something very fascinating. And I'm entertained by this. I found out you can make MS Word read to you. And yes, and Brent, your mom. There we go. I mean, because like we have to, it's required. I found out that I can make MS Word read to me. So actually, I've been getting quite a ways through Silver Pentacle 2 because I just set it up over here and I have it start reading and then I draw. So I'm working on bits and pieces of like, for example, bits and pieces of Bellatrix Rising and listening to Silver Pentacle 2, which is great because I've been able to listen to a lot of it and get a lot further. Problem is, it still takes me longer to process this book than normal because, of course, I don't just listen. I've got to stop every so often and take a note and write something into the document so that I can go, okay, this is the scene, this is her hair color, this is her eye color, and stuff like that. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm talking about. And that was part of what bothered me about the old version of this that we did. The last Silver Pentacle was that I was reading it. I read it as I was drawing it. So I would read to illustration 1 and then draw illustration 1. Then I read illustration 2 and then drew illustration 2. And I felt like there wasn't a coherency to it. It didn't congeal into one unit. So now I want to read the whole thing and only put the sketches in, like these rough sketches, which we can screw with all we want, and only do that after we've read the whole book. So that's where we're at now. So I love my buddy who, by the way, as much as I'm making fun of him, I absolutely love the fact that he keeps doing that, sending me one message at a time. It's very entertaining. And I don't want to naysay him, except when I'm sitting here, then it's like bing, 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 and I have to explain it to you guys, but it's still funny. It's still funny. Okay. Oh, and I now have so yesterday, the other thing that was weird about yesterday was that it didn't have the live button, the timer, and the number of viewers up in the upper left-hand corner either on the website here for Restream. So that was kind of weird. We'll have to figure that out. Okay. That's all right. I mean, I will miss you, and I might cry a little crying. There'll be a little crying, but not a lot. It'll be okay. I'll get over it. The reality is I will miss you, but that's okay. Okay, big guy, lots of hair. I figure. And he's sitting here in the bed, and we've got the cute girl here slinking out of her clothes. That's what we're doing. I don't know what our nudity ratings are on this, so I'm going to put her in a bra. I don't know whether I think that I assume we can't get too risque here. And certainly not at the nudity levels that we permit in Bellatrix. So we'll just work on it from here. Do. Oh, yeah. Ooh. I found, see, I'm a monkey. Ooh. I mean, really, literally, I'm a monkey. I'm just a descendant of a monkey. Anyway, I found ear thingies because I can't do earbuds themselves because I've got psoriasis in my ears and it hurts and itches. So I like to use the loop over the back of the ear ones because then I can just sit them just outside my ear canal and they just rest right there. And it allows me to hear what's going on in the room too. But I found some that have points on the back, so they make little Vulcan ears. I think they're so cool. And then my niece observed that they were all white Vulcan ears and she can't get them. So that was kind of a bummer because her skin is markedly darker, so they wouldn't match. And so that was sad. But that's okay. She found ones that were like metal and had instant cool, like all these really neat things on the back. So they were like metallic and stuff. Those were pretty cool because, she'll wear Vulcan ears, but I think she really just wants to wear elf ears because, that's the kind of kiddo she is. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I thought I raised her better than that, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll get over it. She likes those elves more than she likes the Vulcans. I'll be fine. She's a good kid. Oh, man. She cracks me up. And as usual, it is an uncle's job to mess with their kiddos. So that's like required. It's in the contract. She's 17 now, so she's got quite a defined personality and she is what she is and she knows what she's doing and she's got like a very clear view on the. It's not going to stop me from messing with her a little because it's my duty. I tell you, my duty. It's what I'm supposed to do. Besides, it's not half as fun. I always hope, you leave this planet and you want to hope that people will remember you for all the cool stuff you did in life. So, all right. I feel like this gives an idea of what we're doing here. I'll give sort of some kind of background going on here and like a chest of drawers or something right here. This probably should be more like that and more like that, but okay. There we go. So there we go. That's the only one we're at. I'm not at the next one yet, but but this weekend is Fort Collins Comic Club. So I'm going to be meeting with Ron and my buddies from up there. And I kind of wanted to show that there's progress going on here. I'll probably spend the rest of the day, the rest of the week with what's it's reading to me, MS Word. I don't know. They haven't asked me to do the cover for the new book yet. I don't want to presume. I'm guessing that that'll be the case, but I don't want to make that presumption because that seems kind of rude. Hey, I presume you're going to make me do or have me do the cover. I don't know. It would match. And I think there are only 8 illustrations in here. And so there are 10 squares here. So I think what I'll end up with is a front cover, back cover theory right here. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking is I'll do front cover, back cover here and see if they will give me the front cover, back cover too if I put it in here as part of this. We'll see. So, okie dokie. I've added one more sketch. Sketch is done. That's good. Now we will load Blender because we're still working in Blender. Yeah, I got my booster shot yesterday, and apparently I'm not alone. A lot of people got their booster shot yesterday. And we were working on books, weren't we? Anyway, I got my booster shot yesterday. And I feel fine today. I feel totally cool. So I'm not feeling, I mean, I have a little bit of tenderness right here, but it's just tenderness. Yeah, because it's got to be 6 months or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I got my J&J in April, right after poor Brian. Because poor Brian was having problems with his drawing hand. And so I felt it really freaked me out. I didn't want to, I didn't want COVID. I didn't want it to mess up my drawing hand. So that was not cool. Okay. We're looking here at, all right. So we're working on the bookshelves, which are right there. We got some books, which are right here. Hard part's trying to grasp. Oh, I always do this like the hard way, right? Because like I could just do that. And look, it's so much easier. So I should do this. There. I don't know why I do these things the hard way. I perpetually do things the hard way, and I have no idea what my problem is. So, okay. We'll do this and do the same thing because it should go the other direction. Little books inside, big books outside. It'll look fine. That gives us the ability to make it look like those books are very, you put books in, take books out, yada, yada, yada. So, okay. This should be a quick fix. So we're going to know that this side, everything will be visible except this piece and this piece. So we don't need to worry about those two when we go to UV. So let's go to UV editing and we'll grab this guy here. And it's obviously just going to be a mess. It's not going to, everybody thinks that they're cute here, and that's fine. And what we're actually going to do is just say UV, project from view, because this is the small background that we don't really need. It's the back part of this, right? So I'll make that small because this is just going to be black. Put this over here. And we'll go to the bottom. And we'll say UV, project from view. This too is going to be small because it's just all going to be black. I'll put this over here. From this side, let's just double check. And not a lot going on this side that I have to worry about. So UV, project from view. This is the left side. So we'll just, because you're only going to get a top piece of one of them. And this is the most important side. Project from view. So we'll make this big. Because these are going to be all titles of books, like all the books that we were just talking about. And then from here, we'll say UV, project from view. We'll put you over here temporarily, select the whole 9 yards. Did we just all of a sudden decide to select everything through the middle of it? Okay. It means we need to not have it in naked mode. Yep. The heck is going? Here we go. It has decided to behave finally. Picked a lousy time to behave. You know what? Now that I think about it, it's probably better to, dang it, it's probably better to put these guys there. These guys probably we will never, ever, ever see the bottom of it. But maybe the books would be freestanding. I don't know. So have to think about it. All right. Now we put it in naked mode. Dang it. Make it very difficult to grab things here. All right, I'll move that over here. Move this over there. And move this to here. And then we try to figure out what the rest of that is. Okay. I actually feel like this guy can go here. And then we can make this super larger. It's like a supercharger, except different. I'm very concerned about SpaceX. Read today that the Raptor engines are causing them so much problems that they're worried about bankruptcy. Concerned about that. They need to get Starship off the ground. The Raptor engines are not behaving. It's kind of an alarming turn. Okay, so I'm assuming part of our problem is that. What? Oh. That one's in the right place. I don't know where all these extra vertices are coming from, because we got a bunch of extra stuff over here. I'm not really sure where it's coming from. These look like they're bringing in the front like normal. I don't know. But I will try not to disparage these. So maybe right here. I can bring this down just a little. Wow. Like so. I can put that right there. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's probably absolutely vital and critical, and therefore I'm going to really regret not doing something with it. But, for right now, we're good. So we will do this, and then we'll do that, and then we'll come over here, and we will open recent. I don't know, plant on master is good because we all at least know that that's a square. And then we say you, and we say, and we take a snapshot of it. Which may or may not be good. And we'll go like this. And bring this over here to there. Books. Then we'll take this guy before we do anything else, because I have learned my lesson well. You save this as books 1, because we'll make another one somewhere along the line. Make sure that we click selection only. I have not done that and regretted my life choices because it will export the whole damn thing as one big, huge model, and 90% of it's not even remotely done. All right. We'll bring up Daz Studio 2. Which I think just got updated too on my computer. So I expect all kinds of fuss from it. Shrug. We'll see. Or not. And we will say import. We've got books. Not here. Didn't we just save it here? Call it books 1. Or did I just save it somewhere else? Blatrix Rising, Blatrix Assets. Books. Oh well. Accept books. Books. I'm just saying books a lot here. Just so we can see how they look. So moved away from the book to the comic. And so bring you up. All right. Let's do some books real quick. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. All right. Boop. All right. And go here. Go here. It's not critical that we do. Here we go. Doo-doo-doo. 90% of the work that I do to prep for my comic is preparing the sets, which is all right. Once these things are done, I already have experience with this. Once all of this is done, building actual pages is going to be super fast. Did you skip? Did you skip to your loo? These are the things that I want to know. Should have skipped. I think this is front and this is back. Let's just make sure. I'm just doing this to remind myself that this is the back. Like these are the pages. Title. Spine. Nope. Nope. Spine. There we go. Not yet, but we will. Because first, we have to check to see if this actually is working correctly. And we will say books. Master. Now we'll go in here. Takes a little bit of time, but you guys will see when I get to this point, there will be a point. Browse. Books. Master. Ha ha! Spine, 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 spine. Title, title. Look at that. Look at that. They even look right. Yeah, you know we don't have. You know what that is? That's the top. That means we've got to go back. Luckily, this didn't take much time. I mean, it's only 9:30. So this took a whole whopping 30 minutes, but we're missing the top. That's what the weird stuff was. We do the weird stuff. That's these. Aha. That's what it is. There we go. So if we say UV project from view, we get the top. The rest of them are probably useless. Like we don't really need it. But now we've got to find a home for these because that's the top. Crap. Okay. There's no space on here. we're going to have to start all over from the beginning. Nah, it's fine. It's not going to kill us. This is all just, that's extra stuff that I thought that was there, but it's not. Okay, so we knew that looking at this was the pages. So how many things do we have up? A lot. Okay, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna move it out of the way. I take this and move it in here, maybe. So let's talk about these. And these are kind of the same thing. Do this, rotate it 90 degrees. You're wondering maybe why I'm doing this? Not partially because if I can line these up, then we can make lines that just go all the way through, right? It's all the pages. So they'll line up and we'll have pages and that'll be fine. And these don't need to be the same size as the other guys. They can be like so. But we will move in a little bit so that I can really line them up. Because actually it looks like it's inverted. And it's really, whoa. Come back here. I mean, really, actually, probably what we can do is rotate the whole mess 90 degrees. And do that. Then we can come back out and we can take you guys, because the spine stuff is going to be, maybe make it a little bit bigger, like so. The spines are what you're really going to want to see because it's going to be all the funny words, right? I mean, it's like a thing. Especially if we do it the way we're going to do it, which you know you and I are going to do that way. It's just the nature of the beast. Okay. They don't all fit. So we're going to go like this. And we will shrink this side down just a hair so that it all fits nicely over on this side. And then these guys can get in here. And that'll be our new setup. It means we're going to have to re-export everything, but that's okay. And these guys will just be black. So we're just going to put them here. Shrink it. And grab it. And then move it to there. And all is good. So this is our new sort of layout. That works. Not a problem. We will come in here and we have to go through the whole process again, but it actually wasn't that painful of a process. So here we go. We'll do Control-Shift-S. We want to kind of capture these things first. And then we'll go in here and take you out. And we'll delete all of you. And then go here and say paste. And then scale it up. All right. You turn you down to something like that. Before we go any further, re-export this. Because if we don't re-export it, and this time I'm going to re-export it in the correct places. So, not here. Not here. "3D resources." Right? Here's what we're going to do. And put it in its correct folder at least. So we don't have to mess with it anymore. Delete this guy because we don't need him anymore. And then we will re-import. Not from this folder, though, because I put them in the 3D resources where it's supposed to be. All right. Now, this little guy here. So we can see it. And make sure it's the correct size. Yep. Well, and that's the thing. I've got 2 locations for all of my 3D stuff. And I really shouldn't. I should have thought about this before. But we kind of jumped into this with both feet, and I didn't quite have a lot of time to kind of do the logicking it out, because there really should be a folder for vehicles, a folder for spacecraft, a folder for set pieces, a folder for furniture, so that everything's, I mean, because there's going to be a lot of, like, we're going to have buildings at some point in time when we start building, like construction pieces, things like that. We're going to have a lot going on in here. And I've got the folders kind of delineated in here a little bit better. And that's not bad, because it's really kind of the critical piece, right? I mean, we really need to worry the most about that. It's going to be in Daz Studio where things are going to be the most worried that we're not doing it right. And not, in fact, because I'm really not that worried about where it is in a folder as much as I am about where it is in Daz. Because if it becomes complicated in Daz, the whole point of making this is to make everything for the construction purposes of the comic faster. And we're in world building here, so we're building the entire world. We didn't have this phase with Tamerlane that much, because I started Tamerlane by tracing 3D models that existed. You could go out onto the web and download a scout, right? And then later I felt that wasn't cool. I felt like it was tracing, and it was. So I made my own Tamerlane models. But that happened over time. That happened over years. This time, we're building everything in Bellatrix, the entire universe. We're building it from scratch all at once. And there will still be things that I'm making after this, certainly. But we've got to build a ton of structure in here. This is totally what I was looking for before. This is this function. See, I can just run the lines all the way across. Whoa. You can, provided you click the right spot. Har, har, har. But I mean, that's the whole point behind this. We are using a lot of spare time right now to world build. It's really hard. And welcome to the show. Ghost Hand, my friend, I have missed you. I'm glad to see you. This is the binding on the spine. Actually, I should make it go like this. Right, because the binding kind of goes around in corners. And I love the idea and the concept, by the way, of sort of having books on my super high advanced thing. Yeah, continuity in it is hard. What's actually occurring is I'm writing prose. There's a bunch of written stories now that exist inside the Bellatrix universe. Right? So that's really what's happening here. And the prose allows me to build parts of the world in different locations and feel the world. And I'll be releasing the prose, I promise. I'll probably just stick it on Patreon or whatever. We'll just make that big. And then we'll take this and we'll put it right here. I feel like this still needs to be bigger. Right. Right. Absolutely. Model train magazines. And you're totally spot on, Ghost Hand. That's part of the, like, I spent a good portion. What was I doing here? Here, I'll show you. Grab this thing. Like one of the most important books now for all of what we do for Bellatrix now, because it started out as just a sketchbook, which, I mean, I've been, as any artist, I've been doing legitimate sketching in, sure, but also I'm like designing out. Oh, it's really hard to see because it's all washed out here. There we go. Designing out like the system for Moment, right? And then I had to come up with, well, you know, what's the timeline of events for Bellatrix Rising in actual years and in universe years? You know what I mean? It's like all of that takes forever to do. And there's, and back here, go back quite a few pages, I've got, oh man, you want to talk about maps? For a long time, I was trying to figure out how the star system's maps in Galaxy worked. And for me, I can't think as easy on paper, on typing and text. I need to write it out, and I need to draw it out. And I guess that makes kind of a sense. That makes sense. I'm an artist. My brain operates in sort of that artistic, I've got to think it out that way sort of thing. And maybe that's nominal and normal for me. I know my mom used to be one of those, she couldn't see anything until she typed it out and said it. And she was very auditory and was very word oriented. But for me, it's always been, as long as I have a piece of paper and a pen, I can draw anything and it all makes sense as long as I can physically see it, which is exactly why, even though I know that Brent wants to throttle me for all of this, that's exactly why I had to do the very elaborate maps. Because once I have the elaborate maps, in my head, I can now see where the kittiwake is leaving one location and going to another. And I can tell that going from Bellatrix to, say, Fort Post is a quick jump. Takes, 5 hours. But from, say, Gap Jump to Moment is like 3 weeks. And because I can see it now. That, here's Gap Jump, here's Moment, and then Fort Post and Bellatrix are right next to each other. So you can see it. Exactly. Yeah, I don't, and I've been thinking a lot about that. Of course, we're in the middle of Discovery season 4, and I know you guys probably haven't seen season 4. But I mean, a lot of stuff that they talk about in Star Trek has an internal consistency, but there's some stuff that doesn't. And it is kind of irritating. Like, for example, if you have replicator technology and you can replicate food, which they've been able to do since the 2220s, the 2230s, give or take, then why was there a famine on Tarsus 4? Right? That's all part of the whole Kodos the Executioner plot in Conscience of the King, which is an original series episode. No, obviously this is original series. They weren't thinking through all their internal logic, right? But one of the most important things that Bellatrix Rising has is replicators. They're not called replicators, but they're replicators. So there's never scarcity, ever. As long as you've got a solar panel, you have food. You know what I mean? And that's like critical because that moves an entire society into a post-scarcity world. Yes. So, yeah, exactly. Trouble with Tribbles is the same thing. Why do you need quadrotriticale? Why can't you just replicate it? If there's a famine, why? Just replicate quadrotriticale. So the Tribbles are eating all the quadrotriticale. Now, I could see you grow a barley that makes a specific tasting beer. And yeah, it doesn't taste the same if you replicate it. Cool. That's totally acceptable. And I can even see that we will have that in Bellatrix Rising. There will be cargo moving back and forth because, this beer is specially bottled on this planet. And, let's say they just bottle it in the atmosphere of the planet. So when you pop open the beer, it's releasing out some kind of horrible nitrogen gas because they bottle all of them open in atmosphere, but it adds a certain flavor, However, no one is going to starve to death because they can't get those beers, And that I think is critical. If you want to have a society that's post-scarcity, you need to make sure that nobody is scarce. Right? They replicated the ingredients of the cookies to make the cookies. But Ghost Hand's absolutely spot on. World building has to be internally consistent. Otherwise, somebody's going to go, wait a minute. Because like I did. When I originally had Julie Cochran, well, yeah, of course, agriculture would still go on. And I would be willing to bet that, at least in my world, replicated food does taste different. It's in my head, it's like brewing iced tea versus getting the iced tea at a fountain drink machine at like Burger King or whatever. Because that fountain drink tea is never as good. And it's just unsweet iced tea. It's just normal iced tea. And it's never as good. It doesn't ever taste as good as just going out and making sun tea on your patio. But when I go to Burger King, I don't have to order a Coke, which has 500 calories in it. I can order an iced tea. It just doesn't taste as good. But at least I'm not like stuck at Burger King without something to drink. I can still get an iced tea. It's just not as good. And I think that that's what I'm going to have with our Replimats, which is what they're called. They're called Replimats here. Or are they called? They're called something. I've got a name for them. I've written it down. But I feel like of all the technologies that I'm borrowing from Star Trek, that's right. Not starving is a good trade-off for not as good food. Really, honestly, no matter which way you look at it, fast food isn't good. It's just bad. But that's okay. I think all the technologies that I'm borrowing from Star Trek, replicators are the big one. With a replicator, you're in a post-scarcity society. They're big replicators. I can just make you a house. Do you need a house, Ghost Hand? Because I can build you one. I mean, you look like you're cold out there. It's cold outside here. There you go, Ghost Hand. Have a house, No transporters. No matter what, I don't need them. Honestly, the Kittiwake has wings. She can land. So there's no point. Transporters don't help. And honestly, you've got more drama if you've got little teeny vehicles tootling back and forth and shifting around and all kinds of stuff. So, we're not going to keep the transporters, though. I'm going to dump those. I don't think you need them. It's too viable to have drama occur. See you tomorrow, Brent. Have fun. And, get good. Go get the pointed ears. Okay, maybe not. But they sound cool. Okay. Let's get back to work over here. Yeah, they're too convenient. I agree. They're way too convenient. You're just asking for it. Big title. What's the name of this? There we go. Big title. And since it's all in capital letters, it put it all in like whatever's. Oh, well. It really needs to be like even more than that. There we go. There we go. On this one, something to think about. And then the last book will be Ping Pong. I don't know. There we go. Books. Books. I'll merge all these together. Okay. And this guy on this side is Ping Pong. Oh, I spelled it with caps. Doo-dee-doo. There we go. It says ping pong, but it's clearly about gravity. I'm easily entertained, but I think all of you guys know that by now, so that's okay. And then this one is something big and tidily, and I'm just going to put a big, huge upside down triangle with these on it. Why? Because I can. Okay. That is true. I mean, it's not like this that it's somewhat wrong. I mean, it is accurate that ping pong is somewhat like gravity. Okay, we will save as, and this time we'll save this as books master, and then we'll replace that. Yes, and then oh yeah, actually we put a new model in, didn't we? So we will put shaping parameters surfaces. Oh yeah, it's going to do a different one though, because it's going to still think that that's the same books master. Damn it. Okay, fine. We won't be able to see it until I save it as books 01, which is fine, because we're going to use this for various books, not just this one. Oh, come on. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Browse. And we'll call this books 01. There. Good. Now we can totally see. This looks like a bunch of books sitting on a shelf. And it does look hand-drawn, which is exactly what we wanted. Good. Knowing that this grid is 1 meter square, we probably have a slightly large set of books. I don't know very many books that are this big. That's a big book. But let's go measure it real quick. Let's see what a book looks like roughly. Unless you have something ghost hand on hand. Yeah, because what looks like my, oh, that's just in inches. Got my dad's yardsticks, but they're all yardsticks. Over here. Should have. I don't know if you've got a book handy and a ruler. Ghost hand. But your rulers are more likely to be in metric than mine. Irritatingly. Because I actually prefer metric. However, it's not the nature of the beast. So, where did I put my scales? Oh, I know where my scales are. All righty. No. All of my dad's old equipment is all in standard English metric or standard English naturally. Because his drafting stuff. Ha Found it. His drafting stuff comes from wow. Well, did not actually expect that. This is my father's ruler right here. And I don't know, it's hard to see. It's in inches right here. But in here, it's in picas, which is not, in fact, how you measure Pokemon. It's how you measure type size. So that's a type ruler, which is cool. Okay. One of the things we're going to be doing before the end of the year is we're going to be working on straightening up this office because I need to do a new opening credits sequence because now my office doesn't look like it does in the opening credits anymore. I've got all these wonderful large tables, 1 to 2 inches thick. But, oh, you know what I could do? I could just measure it and then do a converter. 8.5, 9 inches thereabout. So 9 inches into centimeters. We can do that real quick here. We have the sum of human 22 centimeters. Certainly that's bigger than we got going here. Okay. So we're going to shrink it down. How much closer can I get? Let's do the scale check here. Let's check our scale. How do I change my grid? Tools, no. Create, no. Preferences. Grid. Because I did the grid once. Scene. Interface. Do. Weekly updates, whatever. Content, interface, CMS settings. Scene. Startup. Crap. I know there's a way to do it. I just can't think of it. So we know that the books are about 22 centimeters thick. So we got to get to 22 centimeters. Need you ni senchi. Need you ni senchi. Need you ni senchi. It's like a workspace setting. Customize workspace. We were just here. Environment. Edit. No. I feel like it should be on grid. Bridges. Really need this to be smaller. Maybe. I actually just said 22 centimeters. Need you ni senchi. Menus. Okay, this is taking too long. Google. Change grid as studio. I'm not watching it. Okay, you can change the size of the grid. Edit. Preference editor. Preference editor. User interface. We were just here, weren't we? Interface grid. Am I missing something here, folks? See you later, Ghost Hand. Have a good day. Thank you for joining me. Gateway timeout. No gateways timing out. I hate the fact that the only thing that actually talks about this is a video. I don't want a video. I have better things to do with my life than watch a bunch of YouTube videos. We're actually probably going to cut out a little early today anyway, Ghost Hand and Brent, because I'm going to go do a couple of errands as well. I know you're going out and doing errands. So, and Ghost Hand has bowed out, which is totally fine. But I'm going to go for about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to bow out. And then that way I can get cracking on the reading part of this, because I don't want to read while we are doing this. That seems like a bad thing. So anyway, it actually is kind of cool how well Word reads. Kind of amazed, come to think of it. Doesn't do a no. Okay, whatever. It's like Office has changed everything. Thank you. So I need to kind of come up with an absolute ruler measurement here. Preview lights. No, I'll figure it out. Anyway, we've done books. I'm happy because we've done books. The books look good. The books are solid. They are probably too large, but we can save them anyway. Save as a scene subset, and we'll call this books large. Let's call it books. Save you as books. Accept. This will show up here. Now we have books. And look at that. So we got books, we've got a chair, we've got a plant on, we've got a standard console. We're getting there. We're going to add some other pieces. That bookshelf's going to go through too. Those are specialized specifically for our set, but it's all right. We'll get there. Actually, come to think of it, I feel like I'm at a good stopping point right here. I know that I am about to lose you, Brent, to shopping for earbuds. Earbud. I've lost ghost hands. So why don't you go ahead and shop for earbuds? I will go ahead and start listening to, well, actually, I'll go for my walk with my buddy. Get that out of the way because I got to walk. Lose weight, guys. So other than that, I think we are good for the day. We've done good work. We'll get more work done tomorrow. Hey, and tomorrow is Wednesday. We might have pepper. It could happen. You never know. Until then, guys, have a great day. I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow. And remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye. Computer, good night.